Okay, so real estate investing can be a great way and one of the best ways to build wealth. But with so many different types of real estate investments, it can be hard to navigate which one's going to be the best for you, given your current situation and where you are at in your life. We'll take a look at 4 different types given their accompanying risk and reward. And at the end of the video, we'll provide you with a bonus tip on what we recommend when you get started. So make sure you stay tuned for the full video. Hey everybody, my name is Jen Snilson and I'm a local real estate agent with the MJ Group here in the state of Utah. We're going over the 4 different types of real estate investments you can make with their different risks and rewards. So if this provides any value for you, we would appreciate it if you hit the like button. And then you can also hit the subscribe button so that way you can stay tuned on more future content. Starting off with number 1 is going to be residential real estate. Now this can vary between single family units, whether it's a townhome, condo, or a single family home, duplex, triplex, and fourplex. Anything above 4 units is going to be considered commercial, which we'll cover in the next portion. Residential investments tend to be less risk, but the reward is also a little bit less, accompanying that risk. For a single unit or for like a duplex, you typically only need 1 or 2 tenants, and while it's great, there's less issues and risks that accompany those 2 units or individuals. And so for the most part, the revenue that you get will sometimes either be less, just the same, or maybe even a little bit more than your total mortgage. Now these can be a great option because the financial capital required to get started is on the lower end. Investment type number 2 is going to be commercial properties. Now this is going to be units that have 5 or more units per building when it comes to apartments, or you might have any office, retail, or warehouse space. Now these ones tend to come with a little bit more risk and a little bit more planning, and also some more financial capital required up front. But at the same time, these can provide you a greater return on your money. You might have an 8plex, which is great because typically the more you put down, the greater your return or the cash flow that you're going to end up getting on the property. When it comes to retail or office spaces, those are going to be great too because you typically charge based on the revenue or the projected revenue that the tenants are going to bring in. So it could be great because if they bring in a lot of money, then you're going to get a greater return. But if they don't, then you're going to get less, which might not end up covering your full mortgage. Investment type number 3 is going to be vacation properties or short-term rentals. Now these are typically leased out 30 days or less, and these can provide some great and even very large returns on your money. Now, one of the caveats that you have with it is that typically you need more down. The minimum that I've seen is 10% down, but most of the time it's going to be 20 to 25% down of the purchase price. The other thing to consider is how popular the area is for short-term rentals. If it's in a very dense area, then it's going to be super competitive to even get yours booked out, which will in turn lower your revenue that you bring in. Lastly, the other thing to consider is that different cities and states might change regulations at any time, and that could end up causing your property to be excluded from being a short-term rental, which would drastically decrease the value of the property. So on one aspect of it, it's super risky, but on the other end of it, it has a super high potential for astronomical returns. So this is going to be a little bit more for the risk-adverse individual that has a bunch of capital and is willing to take that risk. And lastly, investment type for real estate number 4 is going to be REITs. Now this is just a simple and safe and very passive way just to invest your money, kind of like the stock exchange. So there are going to be different trusts, and you can find them all over the internet, that essentially pool a bunch of money together to go out and purchase different real estate types, like we mentioned in the video: residential, commercial, or short-term vacation properties. Essentially, you're giving the trust your money for them to go out and invest it and then provide you a return. So if you don't have a lot of capital but want to get started with real estate investing, this can be a safe way to diversify your portfolio and get started with real estate investing. Okay, everybody, so those are the 4 different types, and now for the bonus tip on what we recommend. We typically recommend getting started with a residential investment property as potentially even your first home. So if this is your first home, we would typically recommend getting either a single family with a rentable basement, duplex, triplex, or fourplex. It is easily possible, but it just depends on your financial circumstances, for you to purchase one of these triplexes or fourplexes, live in one portion, and have the tenants in the other 2 or 3 units to pay more, if not most, of your mortgage. This is an easy way to not only get into your first place, but then also begin real estate investing. It's a term called house hacking and that we strongly recommend. So if you have any questions about that, go ahead and reach out to us. Here's our contact information here, or you can leave a comment in the comment section below. Anyways, if this video provided you any value, please hit that like and the subscribe button so that way we know we provided value for you and you can stay tuned on more future content. Thanks for being here, everybody, and we'll see you on the next video.